Alrighty, hey nerds, how you doing? Are you guys ready for some summer banner details? I'm sure you are. As always, special thanks to our data miners over on GamePress for doing their amazing jobs. Check it out in the description. They have a lot more details there. You can, run through all of it. And of course, since we're here, thank you, Naz, Kaz, Zanuck, and GamePress. What's going on over here? I just saw this. I'm just kind of wondering, is he okay? That third option's kind of gotten me a little worried about him. Hopefully he's doing alright. Either way, let's take a look at these characters, and I'm going to give you just a basic idea of what I think of the banner. And boop! Let's take a look, shall we? Now, the name of the game for this one is Speed. Speed is insane for these characters. 36 is the minimum here, and it only goes up from there, but granted, that's of course without IVs, without certain things like Tana's weapon, which, gives her more speed. It's kind of outrageous, but let's take a look at Cordelia. Now, Cordelia is a Lance Cavalier unit, which, has a little bit of a... she kind of has to find a market in a way. But the one thing that I will say here is she has a good speed, stat, which is 38. That is insanely high. 32 attack is not bad at all, and if you happen to get an attack boon in that, it will take her very far. She reminds me a lot of Oscar, in a way. Oscar, of course, does not have as much speed and defense, but she does come through not only in girth with defense, but also her 41 health is not too bad. So she's like a better Oscar to me, which is a good thing. I use Oscar a lot. She could run her weapon really well. Could probably do a fire sweep build pretty well too. Noire, Noire is oh boy, that is a interesting stat spread. I am fine with that though. The one thing that I wanted to make sure she would have was I wanted to make sure she would have attack and speed, and if she didn't have speed, I wanted to see a little bit more out of defense or resistance. Thankfully, 36 speed is outrageous. It should be pretty useful for her. She reminds me a lot of normal Ennis in her stat spread, at least when it comes to her attack and speed. Granted, she doesn't have much girth when it comes to resistance, but she does have quite a bit when it comes to defense. So she'll be able to make at least, a decent defensive build there too. Honestly, that is actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So Noire, you are definitely going to be something I'm going to keep my eyes on for more reasons than one, of course. But still, yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with that. That's a decent spread. Now, the one that I'm insanely impressed about is Ennis. Ennis, Jesus Christ. I'm talking about, of course, summer Ennis, not normal Ennis like before. But 33 attack and 37 speed. Not only that, but he has defense, he has resistance, and he has some decent HP as well. It reminds me a lot. He reminds me so much so of all characters Minerva, which is outrageous, which means that he could technically run a build a lot like Minerva. He could do really well with all sorts of those types of things. Just, oh man, that is really impressive. I wanted a really speedy, axe flying unit, and we certainly have that. Camilla can hit those levels if you merge her, but Ennis, if you happen to get high Vs in that, oh god, that's going to be great. My god, that is amazing. It's a really good stat spread. Really good. Now, with Tana, a lot of you were wondering if it really came down to Noe, how well, she would compare. Well, I'm just going to tell you right now, when it comes to these characters, when it comes to Halloween Noe and Tana, since they're in the same sort of category, Red Tome Flyer, how well do they compare? Well, Tana definitely has speed going. Again, 36 natural, plus the 3 from her tome, she's going to do a little bit better speed-wise, obviously. She has a little less attack, but that really does not matter too much when you have that massive amount of speed. And she also kind of has this, that guidance kind of effect from her weapon. She happens to have the same amount of defense as Halloween Noe, and slightly less resistance, and a little bit more health. So she kind of has power crept Noe a little tiny bit, But chances are, if you happen to get an IV with Noe in certain, areas, you'll probably be fine, and you don't need to roll for this. But if you like Tana, and you want a really fast Red Tome unit, yeah, I'd probably say she's going to be really quite impressive. Not only in flyer teams, but also by herself. So, all in all, these characters are, well, quite impressive when it comes to stat lines. It's just, if I were to boil it down and give you a general idea of everything, I would say, honestly, the two characters I would roll for right now that I'm really interested in are Ennis, now with his stat line, and Noire. I already technically have Halloween Noe, but if you are really into this, it would probably be personal preference. Mostly because these characters have a good stat line, but it really depends on if you already have someone who might be near them. Give an example, Cordelia with Oscar, Tana with Halloween Noe, and things like that. It's more a personal preference thing. I personally, this banner is a very strong maybe for me, and that's only a maybe if you happen to get some of these newer, powerful, more extreme skills that are from the passives, But, honestly, if you're new to this and you happen to want a powerful unit, I don't think any of these four will do you wrong. There's really no clear loser right now, and honestly, I'm quite impressed with all of them. It's a lot of fun stuff coming out of that, but yeah, there are your stats, guys, and that's my opinion on the banner. It's a maybe. It's mostly personal preference at this point. If you love any of these characters or just want a new one, by God, go for it. They have really strong abilities. So, yeah, that's great. Or this might be that one banner you go for only weapons fodder or something like that. I don't know. There have been a lot of discussions about that. But all in all, should be a fun banner. What do you guys think? Post your comments below. For now, go check out the the game press thing. I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about this thing right there on the side. Anyways, catch you nerds later. Bye.